This is another leftover from my years as a pastor, and I might call it loose ends because over the years there have been so much in the Bible and so much in my own learning that I love to learn and I wanted to share, but you just can't do it all. And so I'm trying to pick from the many hundreds that I had left over to share for anybody who might be interested. Now, this time I'm going to talk about a psalm that I have thought about for years. It's been one of those psalms that has had a lot of impact on my life. It's Psalm 26, and I'm going to title this Leftover, an Integrated Life. It's about the integrated life or about integrity. Most people, I think it's safe to say, including Christians, live our lives but with a big gap between what we say we believe and how we live. And we are sometimes so far off that we don't even realize it. We're like C.S. Lewis's word in his Paralander trilogy when he called people bent. We might use the word broken to describe the lives of humans that are separated in their lives. It's like trying to force all of the pieces to fit from three different jigsaw puzzles and trying to make a cohesive picture on them. It just won't work. David had a goal for his life, and it doesn't appear to be it was for sinless perfection necessarily, because he knew he couldn't keep all of the law, but something he describes as integrity. So I want to read from Psalm 26, the first few verses, as David writes this down. He says, "Vindicate me, O Lord. I have walked in my integrity. I have trusted in the Lord without wavering. Examine me, O Lord, and try me. Test my mind and my heart. For your loving kindness is before my eyes, and I have walked in your truth. I don't sit with deceitful people. I don't go around with pretenders. I hate the assembly of evildoers, and I don't sit with the wicked. I wash my hands in innocence, and I will go about your altar, O Lord, that I may proclaim with the voice of thanksgiving and declare your wonders." So if you listen to those verses, maybe the first question that comes is, what exactly is integrity? And how can David be so sure that he has integrity? Well, first of all, integrity is an internal oneness within a person, a unity, as he calls it, of mind and heart, or we would say in the New Testament, soul and spirit, which means that a person works towards integrating all of the parts of their life into a single and seamless person, a whole person, or as Paul often writes, a complete person. And that's the goal of all Christians, to become a complete person in Christ. It's far too common to see Christians whose lives are mismatched component parts, like like Johnny Cash's take-home Cadillac, piecemeal. And the goal of the life of obedience to Christ is for everything to be one: our spiritual lives, our economic lives, our political lives, our marriages, our parenting, psychology, our work ethic, our morals, all to be perfectly cohesive in Christ so that our lives become a single unit and integer. It's very common to see a Christian who might have a very devoted life to Christ, but be terrible in their politics or in their psychology or in their marriage. It's very obvious that many Christians, many of us, are far from that integrity in our inner person, a hodgepodge of beliefs and alignments, rather than a single devotion to one overruling reality. And to the degree that we do that, we're disobeying Christ. But on the other hand, it's wonderful to watch when someone becomes a Christian, trusts Christ with their life, and then they begin to grow and they begin to change in every area of their life. They begin to learn new things about who they are as a person and change viewpoints. So, how can David be so sure about his integrity? I think that in the psalm, his assurance is because of his devotion to a single source of truth and purpose for his life. He didn't follow the crowd, he said, but the source of all truth, the all-knowing Creator God. Let's just continue in verses 8 through 12. O Lord, I love the habitation of your house. I love the place where your glory dwells. Don't take away my soul along with sinners, nor my life with men of bloodshed, in whose hands is a wicked scheme and whose right hand is full of bribes. Don't let me hang out with them. But as for me, I shall walk in my integrity. Redeem me, be gracious to me. My foot stands on a level place, and in the congregations I will bless the Lord. A single source of God's wisdom. We could compare Proverbs, written by the wise Solomon. Proverbs is a book about the wisdom of God. All wisdom is God's wisdom. And it's a book about integrity. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. The famous verse we love to quote, but we don't do so well in following it. Proverbs 3:5, trust in the Lord with all your being, and do not trust in your own understanding. Well, if we could just do that, we would have it made. We do trust in our own understanding. The next verse, do not be wise in your own eyes. And if we read through Proverbs, it covers every area of life, not just our relationship to God, every single area of life. And even Jesus said in John 6:38, for I have come down from heaven not to do my own will, but the will of him who sent me. That's not limited to what we call religion. It's everything about his life. And can there be a better standard of oneness for any of us than Jesus himself? God's will is a single, cohesive unit that unites all parts of our being into a single person, an integrated person, not broken up into separate pieces that don't fit together. And yet that's the lives of far too many Christians. Integrity is achievable for every Christian, but only for Christians, because it is a devotion to walking through life with a great desire to learn from Christ, to confess when we fail, to keep learning, and to always let God and Christ define the paths and the priorities and the beliefs of our life in every part of our life. Remember back in verse 8, O Lord, I love the habitation of your house and the place where your glory dwells. I love to hang out with you, God. I love to learn from you and watch everything you do. And then Jesus adds, abide in me, or dwell in me, and your life will produce bountiful harvest of good. And that's what produces integrity. All of the parts of our life under the direction of Jesus Christ, under the fellowship of Jesus Christ, so that we become changed in all areas of life, and all pieces of our heart, our soul fit together seamlessly, and integrity is happening. And that's why David can be so sure. And that's all.